Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Rush Racing Pre-Season, race number 4 at the lovely Silverstone circuit, my home circuit, which is absolutely fantastic. We've done 4 races, 1 more to go, and then pre-season is concluded. It is on your screens now. Some fantastic graphics there, the thumbnail and the pre-season from the 20th to the 24th. What a week it's been, and it is now coming to a close before the big night on Sunday, which is the draft night. Joining me in the comms box tonight is the man that is taking everything by storm, Kelsey. Good evening.
Good evening, SJ. Yeah, taking everything by storm, and yeah, everything is trial by fire these days as we navigate the world of preseason. But it's good to be here. Good to be present for the second last preseason race of our preseason calendar, and we'll be kicking off the evaluations very, very shortly after this, won't we, SJ? And trying to navigate that with figuring out where all the drivers are going to end up for their specific divisions, and then letting the TPs know and getting ready for the draft, which will happening this Sunday. So getting keen, we're getting to the business end of preseason, so hopefully we can expedite these next few days. You know, it would be great. Instead of 24 hours, we'd turn it down to 23. That'd be fantastic. But yeah, excited to get this season underway and get these guys allocated and get this show on the road.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a lot of hours. My hands are really sore from the keyboard. But we're getting there, and this is obviously the hard part. And then obviously it starts to ease off. Obviously the excitement and the suspense to Sunday, which is obviously the draft, and then the guys then get a week under their belts with their new teams, their new TP, and straight to the action. And then we're kicking it off. But we're actually not kicking it off in the season first. We're then kicking off the reserve program, which will be on Thursday. So you'll see the snippet of that. And then I'm going to drop it in now because I'm going to drop the bombshell. Obviously, next season, which is this season, we have a breaking announcement. Look at this! F2 is back, baby! And there's your calendar. So, we haven't just got the reserve program on the Thursday. We got the F2 then starting on the Friday. And you may see that calendar and think, hang on, that looks similar. So the first 5 and the first other 5 are exactly the same as the OCE, only up to 10 rounds. So we're only going to be doing 10 round feeder of the F2 series. This is how it's going to work. So we've had 30, I think it was about 32 people that have accepted. I'm just going to quickly just check who have reacted to the announcement. Yeah, 30 people have checked out. So what we'll do, we'll be giving you all an F2 role. Check-in will go out. There'll be a new channel with the check-in, standings, constructors, and driver lineups, right? And then a little bit of an F2 chat. So we'll go back to what we had before. And what will happen is first come, first serve for the first race. But soon as you pick that car, that you are locked in to that car for the remainder of the season. Unless you can't make it, then obviously we'll put a reserve in because we just don't know who's going to turn up. So people that are going to turn up, which would be great, and obviously we can put them straight in the car, and then we'll be kicking that off on Friday. And then there's the big one, the draft night, 28th of June, 7 p.m, AEDT or AEST. I think I've got the times wrong there, so I might have to do a bit of a change as I keep thinking we're in AEDT. But we've got a bit of an announcement. I will not be taking the draft for the first time in a long time. You will be hosted by Kelsey Baby, and our favourite American friend, Rekus, which is going to be an absolutely fun-filled night. I will be sitting, drinking a pina colada or a cider, enjoying the draft and enjoying my picks. Kels, two big breaking news is there. What's your thoughts to the F2 and also the draft announcement?
Yeah, I'll be honest, SJ. If you're drinking pina coladas on draft night, I might have to rev you back into hosting it. I'll be honest, mate, because you need to be focusing on those picks and making sure that it's all Mickey Mouse from your perspective, mate. Because I don't want any complaints as the TP manager saying that, oh, my picks this, that. Well, mate, you just said you were drinking pina coladas on the draft night, so not my problem. But yeah, keen to get the draft night going and see how it all shakes out. Excited to obviously be doing it alongside with Rekus. He's been phenomenal for us here at Rush, and very, very privileged to have him alongside me for the draft night. So I'm excited. Excited for the draft night. I'm excited for the season to get underway. F2 is going to be fantastic on the Friday night. Something a little bit more, I wouldn't say casual, but less jeopardy than there is in the season races, right? And that's the purpose behind it, is to do something that's still racing related, to still enjoy the game, still enjoy the time together in this community. But obviously still have that competitive side, and as we're all competitive drivers, some might be a little bit better than others, but at the end of the day, we've all got that competitive spirit to achieve the best we can do in this video game. So yeah, you're keen to get it underway and see how we go, as we're kicking off qualifying here at Silverstone. SJ, if you wanna bring us into the action tonight.
Yeah, so there you go. If you have tuned in, F2 draft, lots of things to look forward to, and also the reserve program, which will have a new thumbnail graphic going into the season as well. But we are here for race number 4, and it's Silverstone, and we do have a few new names on the board, and that's the thing I've really seen this season. A lot of new variety. I counted up the other day; it was about 60 new drivers across OCE and NA, which is great. You want to see new faces, and some of those new faces could be a championship winner, could be a constructors winner, could really cause a problem to the veterans that have been here for a long period of time. So really, really good to see. Very, very good to see the same guys wanting to do pre-season every week, but unfortunately, we do have to let the other guys do the pre-season race. I'm going to say this only once, and you probably heard it on tonight. One more race tomorrow night. If you do not do a pre-season race, Kels did mention it in the announcement, if you do not do a pre-season race in the sign-up, you will not be eligible for the draft, and you will be a reserve driver. So if you want to be picked by one of the 11 TPs, then feel free, get your sign-up doc in. I know it's long, but the reason it's long is because it's a new game, and we really want to know what you can do. We don't want crap times, we don't want sandbags, we just want to see what you've got, so we can put you in the right division and let you have the best opportunity moving forward, because this game is very, very different. If you are new and you are getting into it, you are definitely going to get a culture shock. The battery is probably one of the hardest things that this game has offered, and it is, if you get it right, you are going to have a lot of fun. So please get your sign up in, get checked in for tomorrow's last race, and hopefully we'll see you in the draft pot, and we wish you all the best. If not, we'll just see the same drivers tomorrow night. Cass, again.
Yeah, that's if we need to do that, that's all right. But yeah, there's also going to be some growing pains. Yeah, like at the end of the day, we're going to have a lot more individuals that are going to be joining the league, and that's going to have its own challenges, especially early on in the first few rounds. But once everyone settles in, once everyone understands what their goals are and what they're here to achieve and what they need to do each and every round, then I have no doubt we'll be able to have a fantastic season. But yeah, still very tentative about the beginning of the season, especially with some of the new faces. We might see them, maybe not have the same level of consistency of the other drivers that have been in the league for a few seasons now. I definitely know that there's a lot of drivers that have been quite tenured here at Rush, so it's good to see them stick around and hang around with us for a long period of time. It's always a great privilege to have these guys on board. So. But as I said, we just need to give this some time to some of these new drivers. No crash outs. I've been saying that for the last 2 weeks. But yeah, I think we'll have a definite new crop of really, really quick guys that are challenging some of the best drivers even. So we'll see how this season pans out, SJ, and we'll jump on board with the action here at Silverstone.
Yep. Definitely, we've got obviously the 3 sessions. I know it's a bit of a mouthful, and I know it takes a little bit of time, but we want to see what you can do in each stint. So we've obviously got the Q1, Q2, Q3. 10 minutes to go, just on the grid tonight, just to give you a bit of a heads up. We've got Jonah, we've got Toast, we've got Swift, Cooper Trooper, Webber, Mitchell, I'm a Sleepy, Cruz. Then we've got Cookie, Sunny Bray, Whizbam, Trackster, Phoenix Flyer, Locken, Wiggles, DC Gangster, Daniel Rock, Shining Swarm, Dido, Jennifer, Jono, Slippery Goon at 67, and Connor OC. They are your grid tonight. Full grid, which is really, really good to see. And at the moment, Mr. John R is sitting at 127.847. Toast decided to retire, 28.376. These guys feel that they are comfortable. Webber has decided to retire as well with that 28.992. And also you've got Cooper Trooper in that 5th and Swift in 4th at the moment. We're going to jump on board with the new driver of Slipper. What is that? Slipper? I'm going to call him Slipper.
Yes,
I like that.
Slipper Goon.
I like that, Slipper. I love it. You can wear if you're 60 years of age and you wear slippers. Awesome. This is Slipper, and I'm going to let you take this one away, Cass. He's in the Audi tonight. He's a new driver. Let's give him some spotlight.
Yeah, let's give him some flowers, let's show and see how he'll navigate the streets here in the great country of Great Britain, also known as England, also known as the streets of Silverstone, as he's going to take on turn 1. He's already burned through a decent amount of battery already in this first stint, so very interesting to see if he can incorporate some Lyco, some lift and coast. The big buzzword of this game is to be able to lift and coast, even in qualifying, to regenerate that battery as much as humanly possible. It did leave a little bit of room on that inside apex, and potentially could have maybe cut that curve a little bit more to gain some more time, but still quite a tidy lap here from Slipper, as he's going to come through Brooklands here in the right-hander. Very, very long right hand there, and it's almost like a double apex on that corner, so really want to stay tight, really want to go deep on the brakes and then cut that inside curve as tight as possible so you can get the power down early. Comes through Cop's corner, nice and tidy, keeps in the track limits. Very, very easy to invalidate there, so navigates that quite cleanly. He's regenerating a lot of battery for this back straight section as he comes through Maggots, Beckett's, and is going to hit Chapel corner on this left-hander, and is going to open up that battery and burn it all the way down. The straight line mode is activated as well in this fantastically looking Audi F1 vehicle. I think it's a great manufacturer to see back in the top end of motorsport, back in Formula 1, and see how they navigate in real life. But we're going to see how Slipper navigates the last few corners of his lap, does get the yellow flags for the final corner, and is going to set a time of 1:30.8 to finish off his first run here in Q1. So he'll definitely need to jump in the pits and put on another set of boots to give himself another chance of potentially getting into Q2.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, we really do need to improve there. Obviously, 32 at 27, so we'll have to wait and see. Probably still new, trying to get to grips with it. And he's got 7 minutes to do that. Otherwise, he is going out in Q1. We've got Cruz on an outlap as well, who I'll take on board in McLaren. And also, we've got Sleepy on the grid as well. So we'll need to be watching out for that McLaren driver to see what he can do going into the draft pot this Sunday. So we'll have to wait and see. But here we go. Cruz starting his lap, gets on to the straight line mode, going up to 150, onto the 100, to the 50, gets onto the curb. No, doesn't. Got a little bit of traffic on the right hand side there, hopefully gets out of his way, good to see. Onto the 50, 68%, up to 75, up to gear 3, up to gear 4, then down to gear 3, getting a little bit of a tongue tied there. 72%, then gets onto the next part of the straight mode, all the way down to the hanger straight there. As you can see, good old Louis Vuitton branding as they do in the whole of the F1 now. As you can see, all the trophies are nearly sponsored by Louis Vuitton. So yeah, if you want to get yourself a Louis Vuitton bag or wallet, then feel free, but they are bloody expensive, so I would suggest you not. 24% of battery going into Klops, getting on to about 13%. He's going to need a little bit more battery coming into Maggots and Beckett's onto the final straight as he does here into 7th gear. Doesn't drop a gear down, is keeping it quite flat out in that 7th gear, but you can see gets a little bit more battery, but this is not what he wants, and he's invalidated just by going a little bit too far to the left. And you can see now coming down the main straight, 0% of battery. That is not what you want down that main straight, Cass.
Yeah, not at all. I think that's something that he needs to really adjust to his ERS strategy in his qualifying session. Needs to do it quick, smart. Otherwise, he might find himself in the drop zone in Q1. So very, very key section of racetrack that he ran out of ERS on. So I think he'll need to adapt quite quickly. Speaking of some of the TPs and getting picked and drafted, we do have, I think I do count 3 TPs that are currently in the lobby as it stands, with Ditto, Gangster, and of course Sleepy, sorry, which is also known as Jukes. He is the McLaren TP and took over that McLaren outfit very, very last minute. So I appreciate him for stepping in and taking the reins for that team. But yeah, very, very interested to see how these TPs, and of course we do have a TP in the comms box as well, who's going to be analysing a lot of these drivers' gameplay and how they're going to be navigating the circuit. I guess I'll ask the question to you, SJ. I guess, what do you think? I won't ask what you prioritize, because I don't want you to give out sort of, I guess, potential, tactics and what you're looking for in drivers. But, what do you think a TP in general should be looking for in a competitive driver to draft for this next season?
Consistency.
Mm.
Yeah, consistency. I think scoring points in a week to week basis. I think some will probably want to try and get that driver that's going to offer a championship if possible, and I think then some are just going to get a driver that's going to turn up week in week and obviously just put the points down. Getting those drivers, that we've seen at the top, consistency is not really there. They race one week, they miss week, and and if you're in a championship fight or an overall fight, you can't afford to miss races. It's happened so many times. Drivers have then, they've regretted it. It happened with Jono. He went away, unfortunately, and then missed, and then had to then really push. And then it was really unfortunate last season. And then we also had drivers in the past as well. Unfortunately, they had a bit of a holiday, and then they come back and they just couldn't pull the gap down. So yeah, the 18 races has to be the 18 races. You do not want to miss any. You want to try and keep it clean as possible. I think the TPs don't want to be seeing their drivers and the stewards as much, but I think we know that we're going to see that this season due to the new regs and the new understanding of the game, and I think that's normal. But as long as we see clean racing and giving people room and understanding the rule book, which I'm going to say so many times, please read it, because it's not last season's rule book. It is completely different, and it has had new additions, especially with the dive bomb guide. That's a big one. It's in a lot in the races currently, and I think the TPs will be looking at that quite a lot. Yeah, and especially obviously giving room and POVs. The big one. The big one is the POVs. Please record your race. And if you don't know how to, reach out. Just let us know. Because obviously on PlayStation, I'm on PlayStation. You just press the share button, record it for 60 minutes, stop after you've done your qualifying, and then play and then record the race, and you're good. Yes, it's a bit difficult with 100% because you have to stop and start. Just you can change your settings as well, and obviously if you're on a PC, you can run it either on Twitch, YouTube. I think there's programs like Medal. I think I've heard a lot of as well. So there's no really excuse to not record, and if you don't record, it's going to be a 10-second POV penalty every time. So which will just hurt you, and it'll hurt your team, and it'll hurt your opportunity win the standings. So yeah, for me, TPs will be looking at consistency and availability. I think turning up every week and doing the job and doing their best. That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I have to agree. I'll echo that as well. That I think if you're rocking up season round after round, I think I think a very good example is my championship attempt last season. Obviously I joined late. That's a completely different situation. But those 4 rounds, if I had those in my back pocket, there's a chance that I can potentially be the Div 5 champion now. But that's hindsight. It is what it is. And I didn't think I was going to be able to be in the championship fight to begin with, but you don't know unless you have a crack at every race. So when it gets to the end of the season is when it gets to the business end. You could be in a championship fight, and it only takes 1 round to really switch things up. So yeah, my advice to anyone that's looking to race this season is do your best. Do your best to attend to every race, even if it means that you are completely and utterly outside of the points. You just gotta keep tugging away at it and keep plugging away, and trying your best. But let's hand our focus over to the end of Q1. We do have a few drivers that are currently facing the drop zone. They are currently Phoenix, Trackstar, Shining Swarm, OG, the OG Cookie, sorry, Slipper, and Cruz, who are currently facing the bottom 6 places here in Q1. I do think Cruz is currently on a lap as it stands, and he is up by only a 10th. So that could potentially still get him out of the drop zone fairly comfortably, but I fully expect everyone in the bottom 10 to be on a flyer, especially at this stage of qualifying. Jenneth Lee has crossed the start-finish. He's actually still in the pits and is not looking to come back out. Slipper Goon will be our first exit of Q1, and Shining Swarm will join him as well, as he does cross the checkered flag and still stays in P20. Sonny Bray will also face the exit potentially if some of these drivers can improve. He has ducked into the pits, and same with WizFam. Let's see what Cruz can do on his fly. There is an Aston behind him as well that I think is on a fly. I think that is the Aston Martin of Gangster. Sonny Bray has retired and will fall into 17th place, as it looks like OG Cookie did cross the finish line to go up into P16. Let's see what Cruz can do as he crosses the start finish here to go. No improvement there, unfortunately for him. Will stay in P18 and will join Slipper, Shining Swarm, and Trackstar, who also has ducked into the pits. Let's see if Phoenix can improve on their time. No, they're also going to duck into the pits, and those will be your bottom 6. That will be the first exit here in full quality in Q1.
Yeah, very interesting on some of those positions, unless some of them just did a bit of a time. But yeah, we can see obviously the guys at the top there. John R taking the pole position, Jono taking P2, Toast taking P3. Then we've then got Lachlan Wiggles and Swift, Gangster, Dido, Cooper Trooper, Webber, and Mitchell are your top 10. Sleepy and 11th. Then Connor OC, Jennifer Lee, Wizfam, Daniel Rocks. That's really unfortunate to see him down there in P15, just making it through. I think in the end. Yep. Just literally 60 thousandths of a second between him and Rookie as well. Cookie, sorry. Then, like you said, Cal, Sonny Bray, Cruz, Slipper, Shining, Trackstar, and Phoenix all out of quali. Going into Q2 now, we'll obviously see what these guys are made of going into Q3. Who's going to make it through? Question for you, Cass. Going into last season, 25, fantastic season. You got a lot of P2s, we know. You got a hell of a lot of P2s.
Thanks for the reminder.
Yeah. Sorry to bother you on that. And we'll just go back over to the draft night because my computer's just done a bit of a frozen. So we'll go back to that. But while we're talking on that, while we've got that slide coming up, last season, fantastic season. Obviously, coming back into it, not really doing much racing. Raced a little bit before the season, before that, a couple of races, and then decided to have a bit of a break. Do you feel that you can go and do the same again from the start, going all the way through, or do you think these regs and this new dynamics of the game could cause you a few issues, or are you just going to go out there and just do your best?
I think these cars have definitely caused a lot of issues for a lot of drivers. I think a lot of those issues have just been down to maybe just not understanding how to set up the car, honestly. I kind of feel like, with some good setups, you can really get a lot of lap time out of these cars. And as much as the battery, everyone talks about it with these cars, and it is a massive part of being successful in these regs, I do think the way you set up the car and how you drive it to its strengths and not try to brand your type of driving on the car, if that kind of makes sense, If you try to almost throw these cars into corners like you did with last year's cars, I kind of feel you're just risking a relocking. You're risking a really insane snap of oversteer. And I think it really does benefit those drivers that can be very, very specific and careful and almost caress the car into corners instead of being very aggressive and violent. So I do think this style of driving is more beneficial to those that are already fast, and I think it is also beneficial to those who can set up the car correctly to begin with. So I think I'm going to be not too bad in these cars. I'll back myself and say that, but I think being a part of the valuations and getting a glimpse of the grid that I could potentially be amongst. It's still going to be a tough ask and a tall order, but I'll give it a crack for any team that I drive for. Hopefully, it'll be in blue, if you know what I mean. But we'll see how it goes and see how next season shakes out.
Yeah, so there you go. That's a threat to 10 of the TPs. Do not pick him. Otherwise, yeah, he'll time you out. No, that's fair enough. So we're going into Q2. If you are joining us, thank you very much. This is Rush Racing pre-season race 4 at Silverstone. One more to go, and pre-season has been concluded of Bahrain and Silverstone. But going into Q2, we've got Lachlan Wiggles, Toast, Cookie, Gangster, Danny Rocks, Webber, Jono, Dido, Sleepy, Cooper, Jennifer, Mitchell, Wizfam, Swift, Jono, and Connor OC. If you have a favourite, feel free to put them in the comments. Question, while we're just jumping on board, we've got 12 minutes to go in this session. What do you think we're going to see at Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, I think in these cars specifically, I think it's a really good track. I think last year's cars, it felt really, really awkward to kind of make moves and make the overtaking. There was really only the main straight that you can kind of make those moves and build that advantage from. But I think in this year's cars, and especially think because it's so early on in the cycle of these regulations, you got to remember we're going to have these cars for a few years even after this game is done and dusted. This is very, very early days, so navigating these cars and figuring out the fastest way to drive them, especially in a racing situation, will all be quite fresh, quite new to everyone. So I think you'll see a lot of shake-ups, and I think as the season progresses, more importantly, you'll see the order start to settle in a little bit more as those drivers start to get those reps in racing other drivers in their teams and starting to do more practice sessions with their TPs and sorting out the battery and getting better with their pace. The order will slowly start to sort itself out. So I think the first round is going to be really, really exciting. I do think these cars are quite fun to drive on Abu Dhabi. So we'll see how it all shakes out, and yeah, hopefully we can get through with a great weekend of racing after we've sorted out the draft.
Yeah, definitely. What an opener. Obviously, normally the end of the season race for the real Formula One is actually the beginning of the race as well. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope people do like the calendar. I think a lot of people are asking a lot of questions about the relay. I think that's going to be very interesting. Obviously, we don't have Lam in here, but he has explained it a few times, so hopefully we'll have to... He'll be running the show on the relay race, but that's a new addition that I'm looking forward to seeing. And also the 100% races, how they're going to go with these cars, what's the strategy going to be, the battery. You're not doing 26 laps, you're doing 50, 45, it's going to be a lot more interesting to see what's going to happen. How long are these guys going to be able to stay with each other? Are they going to be able to pull away? Is the rest of the pack going to be able to stay with them? There's a lot of unknowns, I think, especially with the 100% and also the sprints as well. Obviously, will we have a safety car coming out in a sprint race now? Or would it be exactly the same that if there is a crash, everyone continues and there's no safety car? Because that will change things up if the safety car comes out in sprint races. So yeah, there's a lot of unknowns, which is really good to see. Also, the point system is exactly the same as well, so there's no change there. The only difference is that 2 drivers will miss out on points. It only goes down to 20, not to 22. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens there. Hopefully we don't see those 2 drivers just being quit. We do want to see everyone try and finish the race, but if they are miles behind, then that's up to them what they decide to do. But we've got 9 minutes of qualifying left. John R is leading the way again. This man has shown some serious pace in pre-season and in the trial races, and that also counts as well. Not just allowing this, these guys don't want to stop there. There's 3 trial races happening this week as well.
Yeah, spot on. There's going to be the Williams outfit that are going to be running a trial race at Australia. That will be on Thursday. That will be the first of the last few TPs that'll be running their session. That of course will be at 7 o'clock on Thursday nights. And of course that will be, I think if memory serves me well, and by memory I mean looking at the check-in, 50% race and a short quali. So that'll be essentially the normal race weekend night that we normally have at Rush when it isn't a sprint or a 100% race. And then we have the Haas team that'll be running their own trial session as well at Barcelona on Friday the 26th at 7 p.m. as well. And at 9 p.m. will be your team, SJ, will be the Cadillac outfit, almost doing a pre-season first round almost repeat, precursor, if you will, at Abu Dhabi at 9 p.m. on the Friday night. And of course, the last run of the TP trials will be the McLaren outfit, who will be running a race in Austria at 7 p.m. on the Saturday, which will be the night before the draft. And they'll be doing 35% race and a short quali. So a lot of racing to get involved in, a lot of trial sessions, and a lot of opportunity for these TPs to get a good look at your opportunity and your capacity to race these cars as fast as possible. So we'll see how everyone shakes out. Of course, please get involved for these trial races, as the TPs and myself as the TP manager put in a lot of work to get these all sorted and ready to go for you guys. So please get amongst it, please get involved, and give these guys the opportunity to see your quality, see your ability to race amongst some of the better drivers. But let's quickly shift our focus to Q2, as you did mention, Mr. John R., our good friend, is going to be sitting on top of the timing sheets as it stands. The 28 flat, that is not a slow time, especially with the track evolution that's happening in Q2. Won't be as quick as Q3, so I fully expect him to at least gain about 3 to 4 tenths in Q3 on his final time. But we do know the pace of people like Jono, who have a lot of pace to give, especially on a track like this, and he's definitely clear within the 27s in some previous runs, so I fully expect him to pull one out before Q2 ends. There's also a lot of quick drivers in Dito. Daniel Rocks has showed a lot of promise in this preseason as well, has been fighting with some of the top guys as well. Weber, I know, is very, very quick, and I've seen a lot of pace from him, and of course, Swift is not a slow driver as well. So I fully expect some of these guys to automatically get themselves into Q3 once they get their laps in, and we'll start to see how the order shakes out. We'll see who the bottom 6 from Q2 will be. That'll drop out of the session.
Yeah, 5 minutes to go. Gangster, the only one on the mediums. Question in the chat: do you need to do trial sessions to be eligible for the draft, or is it only at least 2 pre-season races? Rudy Colt, whoever you are, my friend, if you are a new driver, you need to do 1 pre-season race, which is the last one tomorrow night, and you have to do the document and the sign-up document, and you're eligible for the draft. If you do not do any of them, then you will be a reserve driver. If you sign up, do the doc, but don't do the pre-season race, then you'll still be a reserve driver. You have to do the both, and as we have said, there's been plenty of races to go ahead. There will, depending on the circumstances, if someone has extreme circumstances, then obviously they would come to an admin and let us know what those circumstances are, and we will obviously make a decision from there. But at the moment, currently, 2 races to go. There's obviously the one tonight where the guys have turned up. There's the one tomorrow, so if you don't do it tomorrow, then you're a reserve driver for the season. But if you do, and you manage to get in, then you will be eligible for the draft, which is on Sunday. So hopefully that answers your question. Already, Cole, 831. I'm going to let Cows talk because I'm talking enough. We have got Cookie about to come down into the last couple of corners, who's about to set his time in Lamb's team, the Ferrari. Over to you, Cows.
Yeah, we'll see how OG Cookie does in the Scarlet Red. It does look like on my side the ERS is a bit bugged, but that's fine. I've got your stream up on the side, SJ, and I can have a chat and see how he goes on his lap. We're going to be tuning into him going into turn number 3. Does a really, really nice cut there. Almost really, really close to the sausage curve on the inside on the right-hander, but a little bit of space on that left-hander. But you do want to leave some space because you need to open up your steering onto this pseudo straight that we have the straight line mode on, as he cuts the curve on the inside. Really tight line that was really quite fast. So this is looking like a very rapid time from the OG Cookie, as he does look like he does his best sector 1 time, as it does go purple for him there, as we do see John retire from the session. So I think he's comfortable with the time that he's set in this Q2 session. Takes on Cop's corner, nice and tidy, keeps it in between the white lines. Does need to recharge a little bit of battery here through Maggotts and Beckett's though, and will need to save a lot more than what he has so far to be able to maximize his pace on this back straight. Doesn't look like he's going to be able to save enough ERS to burn all the way down to at least that DHL marketing board. That's kind of the point that you reach 8th gear, you kind of top out from your top end speed, so you'll need boost mode all the way up to that section of the racetrack. But the rest of the lap has seemed quite tidy, quite clean. Maybe could have been a bit faster through club, but that's just me being a little bit antsy and a bit specific as he does cross the start-finish line. And it did look like he didn't improve his time. Or maybe he did improve his time, but not his position. Still stays P14. We'll see how the rest of these guys are going to go in the qualifying session tonight. We've got Jono, as I mentioned before, clearly has a lot of ability to get into the 27.5s, and he has done exactly that. Very, very quick driver that we have on the grid tonight, and fully expect him to potentially even run away with the race tonight. But we'll see if anyone can catch up with him. I do want to keep my eyes peeled on Daniel Rocks. He's someone that has been very impressive with his pace. His racecraft has a little bit to desire, I'll be honest. He has shown a lot of ability to be quite fast in these cars and be a very good driver, but battling with some of his peers and some of the other drivers around him has been a bit of a struggle this season, in this pre-season. So hopefully he can sort it out quickly, as he will more than likely be finding his feet in the upper echelons and some of the higher divisions, as his pace is clearly good enough. So we'll see how he goes on his final run here in Q2. Excuse me, just had a bit of a hiccup. And we're going to see how he goes. He's going to be burning his battery down through the start-finish line. He's going to go down to about 50%, I'll say, give or take. He's going to try and do a little bit of Lyco through this section. I already like his lap and how he's navigating this circuit here. Lifting and coasting into turn 3. That's where you really need to save up a bit of battery. Gets up to about 81% and only just gracefully touches that boost mode. So he's really saving some ERS for the second section of racetrack here at Silverstone, coming through Brooklands, and is going to come through Luffield as well on the right-hander, as we spoke about before. Very long right-hander, very easy to lose a little bit of lap time and almost scrub your speed here in Silverstone. Daniel Rocks coming through Copse Corner on the right-hander, keeps it within track limits, and is now going to come into Maggots and Beckers. Does ride that sausage herb on the inside as well, so maybe would have scrubbed a bit of speed, and he isn't building enough ERS here for this back straight either, so might be a bit disappointing. He's not going to have any ERS for this section of racetrack, so that will surely hurt his time, as he's going to come through one of the fast right-hand corners. Sorry, I can't remember the name with the life of me at the moment, but he is going to come across the start-finish line in a few moments' time. Comes through Copper for that right-hander. Is going to pop that boost mode all the way to the start-finish and will only go to P13. Really disappointing from Daniel Rocks. We've seen him be very, very competitive and quick this entire preseason, but Silverstone might be a bit of his kryptonite tonight, as he only places himself into P13. He'll be joined by Jeneth Lee, Sleepy Gamer, WizFam, OG Cookie, and it's Dito as well. So unless Dito can get a time on the board, he's actually still on track, my apologies. He's coming through the 2 last corners of the racetrack. He's going to burn that ERS down. He has not invalidated his lap there. I thought he was mighty close to doing that. I did not see where he jumped up to. Oh, P11 for Dito. He will also be eliminated with those other 5 drivers I mentioned before.
Yeah, not a good start there, Cass. If you're forgetting your TP that's racing. So
it's early season, SJ. Yeah, it's early days. Yeah, we got some growing pains. He'll be right for the season. All right, I back him. He'll be right. He'll be right.
It's interesting. Some big look at that. Like Jono, Lachlan, Jono, Swift, Connor, Webber, Gangster, Toast, Mitchell, Cooper, Dito, Sleepy, Jennifer, Daniel Rocks, Wizfam, and Cookie, all out of this. Some big names is there as well, and obviously a few 5-second penalties as well. We have had a few people that wanted to jump in and interview. I'll have to let Kaus open it all up for them. Hopefully, Mitchell has left the session, so I'll let Kaus sort that out. But I'll go through our Q3, and then Kaus can open up the live comments box because I can see he's put on a 2 there. Well, it's just,
I have.
I've never
And
seen that before. How have you
that's
done that?
fine. Don't worry, I've got my ways, SJ.
All
I've got
right.
my
Well, we've
ways.
got two people that want to jump in. We've got DR3 that wants to have a chat to us, and Daniel Rocks as well. So feel free to
It's
open
opened
up.
up. They can jump in. Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to jump in, guys, if you want to. DR3, if you're listening, and Daniel Rocks jump in, and I'll let Kaus invite Mitchell back in. Right, so we're on board with Q3, and this is who we've got to come through. We have Lachlan. I'll just quickly do this because he's already sent me a PlayStation invite. So there you go, done. Lachlan and Toast, the Gangster, Webber, Jono, Cooper, Trooper, Mitchell, Swift, Jono, and Connor OC are going into Q3. We are about to get underway. Thank you very much to everyone tuning in tonight. This is a pre-season race full at Silverstone. One more to go, and we got concluded. And on that note, we've got someone jumping into the comms box. Daniel Rocks, mate, have you forgot to play 26 and gone back to 25? What happened tonight?
Yeah, look, just didn't have enough pace just to keep up with the fast guys and a bit of inexperience as well. I haven't really played much of 26 around Great Britain, so I didn't really know what to do with the battery. So I would be going down the straight after Maggotts and Beckett's with like 0% battery. So a little bit of inexperience from my behalf, but I felt like I could have gotten into Q3.
Yeah, I love the honesty. The one thing I'm going to ask, and that we've seen tonight, and me and Kels have noticed, coming through Maggotts and Beckett's down the main straight, we're seeing a lot of guys lose battery. Is that really hurting you on, obviously, the time coming into the last couple of corners to finish off the lap?
If you're speaking on the battery, then yes, it's hurting. But if you're speaking about just skill, then no. Like I said, I felt like I had enough of the pace to get into Q3, but just couldn't, honestly. Just couldn't piece it all together. And obviously starting P13 because someone has a grid penalty, but there's only one way, and that's up. So
Yep.
hopefully something happens in the race. But
Well, I'm going to ask you one last question before I pass you on to Cass if he's got any questions for you. Obviously, last race probably for yourself. You probably have a bit of a breather. You may go tomorrow night. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But obviously, Bahrain and obviously Silverstone. Been a big fan of the two preseason races. Not a fan of Silverstone. Not a fan of Bahrain. What's your thoughts of the two preseason races so far?
Bahrain, I loved because I finished inside the top 10 in every preseason race I did. But with Great Britain, I don't really know yet. It's mostly neutral between me and Silverstone at this point in time. But in the 25 cars last season for the, I'm pretty sure, reserve program, I got my very first win in this league. So, I mean, if you're speaking of 25, then I fucking love it. But if you're not, but if you're speaking of the 26 terms, then I absolutely hate it at this point in time.
Awesome. Obviously, passion with the language there, mate, but all good. I'll pass you to Cass because I don't want to take away any questions because you may have some questions to you going up to Sunday night, which is the big night, which is the draft. So, Cass, I don't want to take it away from you, mate. I'll let you ask any questions you've got for Daniel Rocks.
Yeah, I'll see what questions I can conjure up in my mind. I'm trying to find Jono in this invite list, but it doesn't look like he's online at the moment. But anyway, that's neither here or there. Daniel Rocks, mate, you've shown a lot of pace, especially at Bahrain. You seem to be quite fast there, but this track seems to be a bit of your kryptonite. And I think SJ did mention there the battery seemed to be a bit of a hill for you to overcome at this track. Would you say that's a fair assessment of your qualifying session? Do you think maybe if you could get more of a handle on how to save a little bit more, especially coming through Maggotts and Beckett's and come into that back straight, you could have potentially seen yourself in Q3 tonight?
Yeah, absolutely, Kals. It's like I said in with SJ, it's a bit of inexperience on my behalf. Did barely minimal laps for 26 around Silverstone, so couldn't really get it pieced together.
No, that's fair. What do you think? What are your hopes for the season coming up? I think you're someone that has shown a lot of pace, but if we're being honest with ourselves, Dan, you've had some coming togethers with some drivers and maybe some very abrasive moments that maybe you might want to move on or forget about. Do you think potentially you can maybe clean that up coming into the season and be a force in any division that you get placed in?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, with my pace so far, yeah, I reckon I can maybe fight for a top 5. Potentially, this is a big if. Maybe even a race win, but nothing really we can do at this point in time. We'll look forward and get ready for the draft on Sunday night.
Yeah, we will indeed, and I'll give you some words of wisdom and some things to look for. I do think, Daniel, you can be a very, very quick driver no matter what division you're in, mate. I just think that if you can piece it together and be just as quick in qualifying and keep it consistent throughout a race distance, I think there's no limit on your ability, mate. You can go wherever you want to go. So just keep your head down, worry about your own race, don't stress about the people around you, and just execute to the best of your ability for every race that you do this season coming up, mate. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Cass.
No worries, mate. Thanks for jumping in, and we'll get back to the action. We'll see you out there tonight in the race.
Yeah, thank you, lads. Enjoy it.
Catch you later.
Cheers, mate. All right, 5 minutes and 40 seconds to go. John R is on fire tonight. 127.751, Webber 27.843, and Toast 28.042. Jono hasn't said the time yet because he's not here, so hopefully we'll be able to get him back in. We've got Lachlan Wiggles that is just about to finish up at the moment. It's good to see Gangster in there as well, and Mitchell, and Connor, and Cooper as well. So really good to see those guys putting the pace in tonight. Lachlan Wiggles coming around the final corner. What's it going to be for him? He may be putting in the 27s. Yes, he does. Just misses out there. 28.179. Red Bull are cooking some for night. P3 and P4. These times look like they're going to go. These times are going to be very close. At the moment, Cass, it is literally 6 tenths between P9 and P1.
Yeah, competitive times from all these drivers, of course. They are very, very quick. We know a lot of these guys have a lot of pace. I think that the question is can they do it in this year's cars? I think one that I'm very surprised about, I'm going to be honest, and no disrespect to him whatsoever, but Gangster getting in the 28.3s and being amongst this very competitive field. So good to see him really getting his elbows out and fighting amongst this very, very competitive field of drivers. But yeah, we still haven't seen Jono's pace as of yet. I do think we'll see Jono come out and blitz the field, but keen to see if he will get out in time. He has joined. I have given him the invite, so he should be back in the session, so he should be good to go for the final runs as we're starting to get to the business end of qualifying and starting to sort out these last 10 positions for the grid, for the race that will happen in a few moments' time. I am on board with Lachlan Wiggles. I do think he is coming in to reset and put on some new boots. But if he does start a lap, I will be on board for him as he's the only driver on track. No, he's starting into the pits. So we'll see who will come out first and who will make the judgment to put the car out on track first. I do think track position, especially in qualifying, is probably not as important as, say, a track like Monza, where you kind of do want to put yourself in a position to get those toes, get those slipstreams behind drivers. But that could be a difference maker if you do decide to go out a little bit earlier, a little bit later, especially in this final run. If someone has an issue, you get yellow flags that could ruin your run. You can run out of boost mode. So there's a lot of things to consider now in your final qualifying run. It's not as quick and easy as I'm going to go out and be the last car on track. You can be the last car on track, but you can also risk getting caught up with issues, caught up in someone else's lap where they potentially could have made a mistake. And of course, in this year's game, getting those yellow flags means that you will not have the boost mode. I think that might get patched in a few patches of time. I think that's what the talk is, but of course not confirmed, so we won't deliberate on that too much. But who do you want to jump on board for the final runs here, SJ? Who do you want to have a look at?
Well, John Evans at the time is just coming behind looks like the Alpine there. So he will be getting on board with him, just trying to work out who that is. I think that's Connor OCE at the moment. So, John, I'm happy to take it away, unless you want to take it away, I don't mind.
Yeah, I'll live with you. You've got it. I'll back you, Jay.
I'll let you take the race, how's that?
Sure.
There we go. Okay, so, Jono, only one on the grid at the moment that hasn't said it. I'll tell you something, I just want to say something. It feels like we haven't commentated for ages. I'm normally like Monday, Tuesday, but yeah, so it's really good to have different variety, and I'll just big shout out to everyone for all the props they've been doing for season 11, especially yourself, Cows, all the new moderators as well, massive help to them, and all the commentators as well. And it's great to have you all on board. We cannot wait to do it with you all this season. Just a big shout out to all them guys and all you guys as well for signing up and getting involved with us for season 11. We're going to have an epic season. We're going to have a lot of fun. So yeah, a lot of new things to look forward to, especially the overtake of the week, which I'm looking forward to see. But on board, Jono, here we go. About to start, coming down the main straight, going into turn one. Let's see what this man has got. We've seen the pace he's had. We've seen the battles he's had with Oscar Liu and several other drivers, which I'm not going to mention because there's too many of them. But let's see what Jono can do. He's got a 27.7 to beat. Can he beat it? Let's have a look. Coming down to sector 1 now. Down the straight line mode, 49%, still on the straight line, off straight line, gets back onto the battery, saving that battery, coming up to the nice little corner there on the right. Goes a little bit wide. I've seen a lot of people taking a wide entrance, a wide exit on that line as well. Not keeping it quite tight, so actually taking a wide line. But now coming into Cox, getting onto the straight line mode as well, onto the 50. There we go. You can see into 7th gear, no de-acceleration at all, going flat out. Now what's Maggots and Beggars? Does he drop down to gear 6? No. Yes, he does. There we go. Down into 6. Now into 5. Yep, there you go. Now back up onto the gears, onto the power, onto straight line mode. Now you can see there's the difference. Jono has now got that battery coming down that main straight, and that will be the difference probably between him taking pole position from John R, unless John R can improve. Now he's got no battery. This could be a bit of an issue with him, but he'll save that battery coming up. Really pushes the car into the last couple of corners, gets onto the curb there, could have lost a couple of attempts, but what's it going to be for Jono? It's a 27.2 and he's gone pole position. What a lap from Mr. Jono there, and it's great to have him back on the grid. John R though is up on his time, but it's not enough. 0.036 coming into Maggots and Beckett's onto 6th gear. Can he make at least 4 attempts? It's going to be a hard ask here. We've also got Webber, we've got Toast as well. Toast is 3.5 attempts up. Don't know if it's going to be enough. He's coming round into the last couple of corners. We've also got the Mercedes of Mitchell coming round onto the final. He'll stay P10. What about Cooper Trooper or Lachlan? We've got Cooper Trooper coming around the final corner as well. The Red Bull of Toast stays where he's in P5. Cooper stays where he is in P7. We then, looks like, I don't know who the white car is. I keep thinking it's a Haas, but I must need glasses because it's not. It's Swift in P4, it looks like it. Then we've got another car of the Aston Martin of Gangster. He stays P7. What about Lachlan Wiggles? It's Lachlan Wiggles and Webber. That is the difference. Are any of these guys going to be able to knock Jono or John R off the top? Webber coming around to the final corner. What's it going to be? 24, at 25, at 26, at 27, and he goes P3. Great job there, Lachlan Wiggles. Where does he go?
P4.
Ooh, that is a very close quality. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why we bloody love full qualifying. Look at that. At 27.2, at 27.5, at 27.5, 27.7, 27.9, all in the 27s in the top 5. Toaster 28.042, Gangster 28.2, Cooper Trooper 28.2, Connor OCE at 28.3 and Mitchell at 28.3. That is a very, very close end of qualifying there, Kels.
Yeah, very, very good driving from all these 10 guys that made it into Q3. So fantastic driving from them, and for them to be fighting amongst each other for those final few places, all within a second of each other. So fantastic to see, and it's gonna prove that they mean business for for this race and see how they all stack up against each other as the race goes on. It's always good to be in a higher place position when you start, but as I say, every single race is not about where you start, about where you finish. That's where the points are allocated, ladies and gents. It isn't in qualifying, it's at the end of the race. So very interested to see how all of these top 10 drivers, all these 22 drivers, are going to be navigating the start of the race, as I do think there is an opportunity for some drivers to maybe jump ahead of some others if they get a good start. If you can really execute the start sequence on these cars, you can really get a fantastic launch and almost gap the cars around you. So gonna keep a close eye and a keen eye on some of these drivers that can really execute the start procedure here, as it does sound like we're going to be kicking off the race in just a few moments' time, as these drivers are getting their setups ready to go. They're selecting the tires, they're selecting the wings that they need to run so they can fly here in Silverstone, as we see the 5 red lights out on the gantry go out nice and early for the drivers to keep them on their toes. And away we are off and racing. Jono has stepped away from the field. There's a Red Bull, and there's a line of Red Bulls that are going to be lining up next to the Cadillacs here on the inside of turn number 3. Can they negotiate and navigate cleanly? I think I do see some wings flying there, but it does look like the front runners seem to get away nice and cleanly. We do have John R, who has lost a lot of positions on this restart, and there's a Haas that spun around there, and there's a whole bunch of carnage that's happening at the back of the race there, the back of the grid. That's unfortunate to see. I think I did see John R did come back onto the track and have a bit of an issue there and take out one of the Haas's, and has caused a safety car, I believe. It's at least the VSC, but we'll get back to racing speed in just a few moments' time. But a lot of drivers' races ruined here, and we're going to see a lot of activity in the pit lane in just a short few moments' time.
I think I just seen a McLaren do a 360 spin in midair. That is incredible. I don't think I've ever seen that. We did lose 3 drivers straight away, unfortunately. Desync, I don't know what's going on there. Obviously, Chaos is still the lobby host.
Still here.
We're not DC'd, so I don't know what's happened there. I think we lost Jonna more than 3. No, we lost Jonna, Gangster, and someone else. Apparently, I don't know. That's the 3 I saw leave, but big accident there. Unfortunately, Cruz is out of this race. Cookie down there in P21. Massive drama at the back. Really unfortunate. Hopefully, things go to plan moving forward. But yeah, that is always the case, isn't it? The turn 1 is when everyone is so close together. And yeah, bit of an issue there with a few guys DCing. So let us know who has DC'd and needs an invite so we can get Jono, Sunny, Cruz Dealer, Gangster, Shining. A lot of people crashed, I think, SJ. Yeah, I'm trying to work out who they all are. So if you are in the chat, let us know. Don't message me directly. We don't red flag pre-season, mate.
Oh
no,
my!
Not pre-season. Migrating host. I'll invite you.
My game just crashed.
I thought it was you. You can't host.
My God, why am I
why can we not find a host that does not DC on this game? I do not get it. I do not get it. I will send you an invite back because I love you.
So silly. Why?
I know.
Why am I
know.
Oh.
It's frustrating. I know how you feel. We won't be red flagging though, guys. So just keep continuing what you're doing. Kels, just let me know when you're back online, mate, and I'll send you an invite. But yeah, at the moment we're on lap 2 out of 18. A lot of people have DC'd. Invite. Sunny Bray is out, so I will send you an invite. It's all down to me. So let's see if we can get you guys in. Do apologise. Losing the stream for a bit, but EA can still not make a game, unfortunately. There we go. So we've then got Sunny Bray, who is next. Mr. John R needs an invite as well. That's another one. Let's have a look.
I should be back on.
All good. I'll send you one soon. I'll just find John R. There we go. Where's Mr. John R? Mr. John R. John. There we go. There's another one. So there's 2. Yeah, that is sad. It is sad, but it's out of our control, mate. It's. I don't know what is going on. It's happened all pre-season. It's not the first time it's happened. It just DC. Some we've managed to get through, but the host hasn't left, and we've just lost a few drivers. So I've sent Gangster needs one as well. Cool, I'll send him one as well. Mr. John has joined. Good to see. Where's Gangster? Gangster. There you go, mate. So there's a third. There we go. Right. Anyone else? Well, now people can't show what they can do. Yeah, they can. A lot of these guys have done pre-season, Sonny. So don't worry about that, mate. We've got all the data we need. Don't you worry about that, my friend. Right, we've got a nice little battle going on at the back here between Slipper and Dido. As Dido is trying to get past Slipper for that P20 spot. Back up to the front. We've then got Daniel Rocks going at it with Cooper Trooper, and they're going at it as well. So hopefully we've got a few more guys in. Let me know if you're not in. I'm just going to try and get Kelsey in as well. Please don't message me by DMs. Message in the stream. That is the best spot where I'm looking, where I can see. Where are you, Kelsey? There you go. There we are. Right, here we go. We've got Jono leading the way with 3.3 seconds. This could be an easy night for Jono, unfortunately, with the issues as well. No issues with the lobby, though, at the moment. We've still got everyone racing, just what people have disconnected. Hopefully, who else? We've got John Sonny Brave sent you one. Kels is back, and we are back underway. Very unfortunate, Kels. We still, EA say they go and fix the problem, and then all of a sudden another one happens. So, yeah. All I'm going to say is anyone watching, anyone listening, report it. Send it. Send the same message by 40 people to EA saying, there's a desync issue. There's a host issue. Why do we keep being desynced from a host racing it? Especially when the host has got fantastic internet. It just doesn't make sense. So still, like I said, got problems with the game, having glitches, having bugs, send them to the EA forum. I sent one back. I got 375 likes by just sending one message. Yeah, so please send it in and get EA to sort it, because they will sort it. They will sort it. They fixed the other issues that we were having, connecting online services. Glitch doesn't seem to be there as much as it was before. So yeah, hopefully back. Kels, are you back?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm good to go.
All good. Not the best start for race number 4, but we are underway now. We've got lap 5 out of 18. We've got Cooper coming into the pits, but we've got John leading the way. And nice little battle going on, though, and between Lachlan and Webber. And I'll let you take that one away.
Sorry, SJ, I'm just trying to get the rest of these guys in.
All good, no drama. We'll jump back down here with the battle between Webber and Lachlan. At the moment, they're going at it as Webber gets the move done into Cops. Lachlan goes a little bit wide. He's going to have another go back at him. Goes on the left-hand side, going into Megan Tobias. Does he get the move? No, he doesn't. He stays in to formation. Shiny Swarm has joined as well. Just trying to find out who else has left. Please let us know in the comments. We've got a move going on here, or a bit of yellow flag going on, as Wizfam is having a nice little battle there with Chrono C. Danny Rocks up into paint on. Mixture on the tyres there. A few softs, a few hards, and mediums as well. Nice few little battles still going on here. Wizfam trying to get to the back of Wizfam. What's happened there is Sleepy has gone into the pits or dropped, or Swift has gone into the pits. That's why he has dropped like a stone. But I was wondering what's going on there. We've got a nice little battle going on at the front between Lachlan and Webber. They're going at it, ready for that P2 spot. Few speeding in the pit lanes as well. Gangster, and then I think that may have been Jennifer getting a 10-second as well. So really going a little bit too fast in the pit lane. We're seeing there as well that Lachlan is under fueled. So if there's not a safety car, he could be having the same problems that we've seen Liam in 2 races under fuel and run out of fuel. So hopefully, do not do that. Otherwise, you will fall to the back of the grid, or you'll end up having to retire. We can see Webber really putting the pressure on Lachlan Wiggles, and we've also got Toast as well, the other Red Bull teammate. So he's in a nice little Williams sandwich there, or a Red Bull sandwich, you would say, as they're going side by side, and Webber gets the move done. Lachlan goes a little bit too wide. That brings in his teammate Toast on the right-hand side. Does he go for the moving maggots and bigots? No. Trackster is out of this race. What's happened there? He's lost it. I'm trying to work out where he's lost it, or has he gone into trying to work out Mr. Ferrari, and it looks like he may have retired in the pits. Or
No, I think he's had a bit of a moment on track. I think it looks like SJ. I think he might have spun out on this section into Brooklands. I think that's where he kind of had an off. I think maybe had a fight there with one of the cars there, and maybe got himself into some issues. But I don't think it was a retirement on track. I think he was still running. So unfortunate to see. I think that has brought out the VSC at least. I think also it's brought out a full course actually. I am mistaken, as we do see the safety car on track in the beginning of Sector 2, as the entirety of the grid that have not made a stop will surely make their stop now, and those that have already made the stop will just, more than likely, just keep on liaising with the race that they've got at the moment. Will slow down the entire pack and the entire field, as this is a 35% race here tonight. It's not the normal 50% that we usually run. Excuse me. We have decided to run a bit of a shorter one tonight, just to keep it nice, short and sweet, so we don't have too many complications. But even saying that, we still had our fair share of issues, but we still see some similarities and some familiarity with Jono leading the pack here. He's going to be sitting in P1 in the green machine, that is the Aston Martin, so see how he will go ahead with the restart. I think Webber made a great move onto Lachlan Wiggles there, coming out of the start-finish, if I'm not mistaken there, SJ, was where he made that move?
Yeah, there was obviously in cups. Lachlan went a bit too wide, and then Webber got the position there as well. They were going side by side, and then Toast was coming side by side, and Maggots and Bigots then decided to stay in formation. I think is pitted as well, and he's actually lost out. He was behind his teammate, and he's gone from P4 to P8. So a little bit of a double stack there for Red Bull, which has pushed him down, which is a little bit unfortunate. And he's now got Jono. He's actually got the two Cadillacs in P6 and P7 in front, and then obviously Sleepy on those mediums in P5.
Yeah, interesting to see if these mediums will go to the end. I think they should, but this is still a quite high degradation track, and I'm not sure what Sleepy started on. I think he might have started on the softer compound tyres, because I think it would be quite bizarre to pit onto new mediums at this section of racetrack if you started on the hards. I think this is definitely a soft medium strategy that Duke's tried to make work, and we'll see how he'll fare against a field full of hard compound tyres. So I think he will definitely have some pace at the beginning part of the stint. I think he needs to understand that with that pace, he needs to make the moves nice and early. But he might not feel the pain of the end of the stint as much as I might think, because by the time the safety car comes around and we all get the field sorted, we might be restarting the race at around lap 11 or lap 10. So the mediums could be the way to go here, SJ.
Yeah, will be. It'll be really interesting to see. Obviously, a quicker tyre. Hards will be a bit cool. See a little bit of time to get into. Softs will probably die pretty quick. If Jennifer can get 10 laps out of them, then props to him. And that's the biggest thing as well on these obviously short races. What's the tyre to go on to? Are softs like 25? Do they die? Very early. We saw last season the hards with the tyre. They go on for ages. Some tracks, obviously, a little bit with the tyre degradation is a lot worse. So I'll be very interested. But a lot of people obviously going for the hard strategy, and I'm sure they're thinking these tyres, well, I'll definitely go to the end. But if another safety car does come up, then that could spice things up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely could. I think if you're someone like Gangster that has that penalty to his name, that drive-through, I think you need to get that served as soon as possible. When that safety car does come in. I think you have 3 laps after the safety car comes in, or I'm not too sure how that works, but I think he'll need to duck into the pits as soon as he can and get that sorted, and get back to racing speed as soon as possible and complete this race. I'm a little bit disappointed with the Gangsters race, because I think you had a fantastic qualifying session to be in amongst that top 10 field and to be up and racing. I think I've seen Gangster kind of struggle at the beginning of this DLC, this tenure of new car, but good to see him finally picking up the pace and getting amongst the field. So hopefully he can keep that pace that he's shown in Q3. Speaking of pace, we are going to be on board with Jono, who's going to be setting the pace for the safety car restart this time around, as he's going to be leading the field of Webber, Lachlan, Wiggles, and Co. through the final few corners. Just went through Stowe there, and will come around and set the pace and set the field as he's decided to go nice and early and set that pace quite fast as he comes through club and heading through the start-finish to restart the race here tonight. Let's see if he can keep that lead. He's given himself quite a healthy gap. Looks like Connor ACE has made a move onto Wizfam. Might have ran into some issues, wasn't very awake from the start. He's quite slow. He's under pressure from Sonny Bray. Will try to make a move around the inside there and almost pretty much pushes him out off track there. Not the cleanest move from Sonny Bray that I've seen, and also dives down the inside of Cooper Trooper. Let's see if they can keep it civil going into Luffield. Cooper does get that move back done on Sonny Bray. He is going to have a bit of a sniff down the inside, but doesn't look like he's going to get it done this time around. Sorry, I said Cooper Trooper, I meant Wizfam. That's the man he's going to be battling at this moment in time, as Wizfam is going to be all over the back of Sonny Bray on the exit there of Luffield. But looks like he is going to try to go for an opportunistic move into Cobb's corner, gets it done on the inside, and Wizfam will get a track limit violation there and get a 3-second time penalty for his woes. And the OG Cookie is going to be all over the back of these two for these positions, and we'll try to look if he can snatch up a position or two from these guys. But as that battle is going, Ron Swift is going to be making a move onto John R into Stowe. So that's a great move done, completed for John R, on Swift, as he gets that move done. And it looks like there's been an incident around the back. There's a few red arrows, meaning that there might be an incident, but there's just some drivers that have decided to duck into the pits this time around. Maybe a little bit of argy-bargy as well. Gangster decided to pit. Ditto has decided to pit. I'm not sure if these guys are going to be changing their shoes. I think they're pitting and quitting, SJ.
Yeah, really unfortunate. It is unfortunate. Something we don't see 8 laps to go, but yeah, it is. And I've got to say, Shining Swarm, what a move that was into Cops. Very risky, and he got it right. He got it right, but the problem is he's got it right, but he's lost the position again to Wizfam. So Wizfam is really pushing on there, and Shining Swarm is really trying to get the move done. But Sonny Bray losing a little bit of time there to Cooper Trooper up the top. We've then got Sleepy and Mitchell. They're going at it as well, and we've then got Toast and Swift. There's battles everywhere going on between up the top, in the midfield, and down the back as well. Got Sleepy on those mediums as well, so keep an eye out. He's 8.5 tenths behind Lachlan Wiggles at the moment. It's really putting the pressure on. Be interesting to see if he's going to be able to reel him in as well with 8 laps to go. Jono 1.1 seconds out in front, and we've seen this before. Aiden has done this in a few preseason races. You can have the lead, you can have a 1.5 second lead, but then all of a sudden, if you don't have the battery, that lead gets absolutely evaporated very, very quickly, and the guy in P2 is behind you. So we'll have to wait and see. It's 1.7 at the moment. We know what Jono's capable of. We can see in the background that Webber and Lachlan are going out. They're going side by side into turn 1 there. There's a nice little battle in, and this is what I love about this new game. The battles just do not stop. You've got battles in P2, P3, and P4, and they go right to the end of the race, and they don't stop. But the problem is, while these guys are battling, John is looking, or should I say John? It's John. We should be saying Jono is staring out of his rear and thinking, you guys continue, I'm going to go off to the sunset and win this race with a 2 to 5 second lead. And that's the problem. They need to work together to catch the leader and then battle your heart's content. And that's the problem. While they're doing that, they're bringing in P5, then they're going to bring in P6 and 7, and then you've now got P4 going into it as well, as we see John R loses out there to Sleepy up in the P4 on those medium compound tyres. We'll jump on board a POV of Sleepy, and I'll let you take this one away, Cass, for a couple of laps, because this battle is not going to go away.
Yeah, we'll keep our eyes on Sleepy, as he does look like he's going to get a nice run onto Webber, but he's not going to get the move done on this occasion. Very nice battle between a lot of these top 5 drivers and top 6. As you mentioned before, though, this is going to reel in the other drivers behind, but they seem to be in a battle of their own, SJ. It looks like Swift is trying to fight for position with Toast. So these guys really need to work together, especially this phase of the race. You need to work and try to get back up to the field. And then, as you said, fight to your heart's content. Once you're in amongst the field, Jono is just going to absolutely fly away with this lead if these guys just keep scrapping out for podium position places. They're not going to give themselves a chance to go for the win, as it does look like Jukes does clatter over that sausage curve on this occasion, on the inside curve, as Lachlan Wiggles is going to try and make a move onto Webber, but he's going to tuck in this occasion. Did look like M. John R was going to look for a move on the inside of Sleepy Gamer on that occasion, but decided against it. Almost lost his front wing there, Sleepy Gamer, on the back wing, on the back tire of Lachlan Wiggles. Let's see how they negotiate this section of racetrack. He's going to dart to the inside and defend his position. Sorry, did I mean attack position number 3? Has a move on Webber, but whoa, Webber almost tries to push him off to the inside and tries to take the position, cuts in front of Lachlan Wiggles. Very, very controversial stuff there from Webber. Looks like they wheel locked for a moment, but very, very ambitious to almost cut off the track that he had in front of him, and Lachlan Wiggles is going to get that position straight back on this occasion. No, Webber's going to defend that inside line, and M-John, for good measure, is going to be fighting alongside with Sleepy Gamer. Can they get the moves done? Can they get it sorted out without any issues or damage or controversy? Let's wait and see if they can get it done. The Cadillac is going to rain around the outside. M. He's going to pull out the elbow and get it into turn 1. He's going to get the inside line, but Webber is still fighting that position. Really, really difficult to try to get a move done there. Up in the inside of Lachlan Wiggles, this is just absolute cinema here for these drivers. Still fighting for positions, going back and forth. I have no idea if they even got any battery anymore. They must be deploying it, dumping it, absolutely trying to pick it back up whenever they can, and just jostling for each and every position here of this section of racetrack. I think this track specifically has showed some fantastic battles throughout this preseason, but I think this one is topping the lot right now, SJ.
Oh yeah, as Webber goes around the outside, they're going to go side by side. No one decides to go for a move into Cops. They're going to go in line behind each other with Webber leading in P2, John Hart, and then we go Lachlan Wiggles goes around the outside. And how to make that move in Maggots and Beckett's, you've got to have some balls of steel. And Lachlan Wiggles, he's wiggling, and he's wiggling out in front into P3. Now he's going to attack Webber down the main straight, but Mr. John Harris says, no thank you very much, I'm a Cadillac, do you want some American muscle? And you can have some muscle. And he goes around the outside and takes P2. And I'll tell you something, whoever tells me they don't enjoy racing this game is off another planet, because look at the racing we're seeing here. John Harris in P2, Lachlan in P3, P4, and these guys have been going at it for nearly 3 laps, and they're not stopping, and they are bringing a lot of cars into it. You've now got Sleepy in the battle, Swift in the battle, Mitchell in the battle, and Toast is in the battle. And if they don't keep messing around, Connor O.C. will be in the battle. That's 9 cars for P2. What are we seeing here? And they're going again. Sleepy around the outside, trying to get the move done on Swift. Doesn't get the move done. Now he needs to watch his rear view mirror, because he's got Mitchell in his rear view mirrors, moving over to the right hand side, and they're keeping it clean. And this is what we want to see. We want to see the side by side racing. We want to see the conviction. And look at that. He gives a little bit of a gap, and Toast is trying to say thank you very much, but doesn't get the gap. Mitchell's going to have another go. Sleepy, they're going to go side by side. Who is? Someone's going to crash soon. They're just all over the place. No one knows where to go. Someone's gone wide. Looks like Mitchell's gone a little bit wide there. Toast is going to be up his rear end going down the main straight. They're still going at it. This is 9 cars going at it in Cops, in Maggots and Beckett's. And we've got 4 laps to go, and John Hart is now under pressure from Lachlan Wiggles. Cows, I have no words to say, mate. Pre-season race 4 has been epic, apart from the issues with the EA. But look at that, look, coming through into the last couple of corners. You can see 8 cars all in the background going at it. What a battle between these top 8.
Yeah, it's beautiful to see. It's great racing, and I think all of these guys will back themselves to be able to close out those final podium places. So I fully expect a lot more sends. If you think it was at 100% already, I think we'll be seeing 110% going into the final 3 laps of this race. We're going to keep our eyes peeled on Mitch. I do think he has the most ability here to be able to make a move on any of these drivers. I think he's shown to be a force in this field at the moment, so I fully expect him to be able to make a move onto Sleepy Gamer, and he does. He gets around the outside there and gets it nice and cleanly done. Well done by Mitchell to get that move done, but Sleepy Gamer, also known as Jukes, the McLaren TP, will he potentially be recruiting Mitch, maybe pushing him to his limits to see what he can do and see what he can be capable of, and he's showing a great deal of fantastic racing. But Connor OCE is going to make a move around the outside, but does look like Toast in the back end there did lose a little bit of time and maybe lost, maybe got himself a track limit infringement as well for good measure. So Toast will need to keep it in between the white lines for the remaining few laps of this race. I want to have a look to see if there's any moves going to be happening for position number 2. M. John R has kept it nice and clean and tidy for the most part, but Mitchell again fighting for those positions, trying to get up on the inside of Jukes, but doesn't get the move done. He's going to dart to the inside, dart to the outside, dart to the inside. Tries to get his nose in there, but Jukes does leave a little bit of room, so he doesn't lose his front wing, but that leaves an opportunistic moment for Connor OCE to get up onto the inside, but doesn't get the move done. 2 laps to go, and we've had a casualty. We've waited for a while here, but Swift has lost a little bit of his front wing, unfortunately, there, and will be out of contention for these front running positions. We were waiting to see who would be the casualty, and it was unfortunately Swift in that Cadillac. That American muscle not coming to fruition for him this time around, but maybe his teammate can carry the banner, can carry the flag for that American outfit, as it looks like Mitchell again is going to duck to the inside, and we got 3 wide, 2, they negotiated. Connor gets through ahead, but Jukes is going to force him out a bit wide. It's going to leave an opportunity for Mitch to be able to dart to the inside again. Little bit of side-by-side action. Connor OCE, can he get the move done on this time on Jukes? Jukes has been holding these guys up for such a long time, putting on a great defensive performance here at Silverstone, but looks like Connor OCE is going to get the chance, going to get the opportunity, but not this time around. Has to tuck back inside behind of Sleepy Gamer. Can they get the moves done going into Stowe? Let's see what happens. Let's see who's got the battery. Mitchell, again, darting to the outside, gets the move done to Connor OCE, and looks to be the leading man to try to get these moves done to go for position number 5. They have dropped a little bit to these front runners. I do think the podium position places do seem to be sorted out. I think Webber's the only man that can really contest these guys, but Mitchell has said, I've had enough, and has gone off, unfortunately, there. I did not see what happened there, SJ.
Yeah, a bit of drama there as Swift has decided to retire after spinning in the pit lane, but what a battle it's been between Lachlan Webber, Sleepy, Connor and Toast and Mitchell. It's been absolutely fantastic, and they're still going at it. They're not giving up. Connor is obviously in that P6 with that penalty at the moment with 1 lap of racing remaining. Sleepy in that P5 is doing a fantastic job, and from a TP perspective, they'll definitely be looking at this going, right, who can go wheel to wheel with me, who can defend, who's not pushing it, who's not driving silly, and that will be one definitely opener for him as a TP going into the draft as well. Yes, he may not be driving, we don't know what the go is yet, we'll have to wait and see, but he is definitely really testing these guys, and it doesn't matter, there's no points on offer, this is pre-season, he's testing these guys' abilities, what they got, and they are driving some fantastic racing at the moment, going wheel to wheel. Connor and Toast going at it as well, and especially in those areas of the track, which is so difficult. You've got to be so on point in Maggots and Beckett's, because if you just take one slip, you hit the curb, you get a 3 seconds, or you spin, or you connect with another car, but these guys are going at it. We've seen 2x2. We're now going to see a move. No, we're not. Yeah, absolutely fantastic racing here, and Council, let you take the final lap with 18 out of 18.
Yeah, thanks very much, SJ. We'll see how it all shakes out. Again, flowers go out to Jono with an 8-second gap to the front of the field, but our eyes are peeled for this P5 position. I think Sleepy Gamer, aka Jukes, has done a phenomenal job to hold these guys up with the medium compound tyres as well. That tyre must feel like it's fallen off a cliff at this stage of the race, which is probably why, and explains the pace deficit between himself and the rest of those front runners, as we mentioned before. But we'll see how he can go and keep hold of his position. Connor OCE not able again to get the move done. I think he might need to make an opportunistic moment into Stowe. That's the opportunity that I'm waiting to see as we're heading into the final remaining corners of this race. I'm going to keep a close eye on the P2 battle as well. If maybe John R then lose that position to Lachlan Wiggles, but I think this battle here for position number 5 is going to be real interesting when we get to the closing stages of this race. But we do have to give the flowers to Jono as we look. Lachlan Wiggles makes the move around the outside of Stowe. Jono is going to try his best to hold the position, but Lachlan Wiggles does go off track, but he's still going to fly at the position. Jono will win the race. In the meantime, commiserations to him. Fantastic race from him, but Lachlan Wiggles gonna try and get the move done, and he gets it finally as he gets P2 ahead of John R, and Webber will close out that final few places. But let's see who gets the battle for P5. Can Toast get the move done? Looks like he's not able to get it done on this occasion, and those final few places will be coming in. Toast in P6. Mitchell in P7, and Connor Osier will finish in P9. Cooper Trooper, in P9, and Connor will finish in P8. We've got the OG Cookie who's coming around to close out that top 10 placing to get P10. Jeneth Lee in P11, and Shining Swarm will actually take that away from OG Cookie as he will get that penalty that'll put him down to P12, unfortunately. Gangster to finish in P13, fantastic to finish the race. And then Daniel Rocks, Slipper, and WizFam will close out those final few places of our finishing drivers.
Yeah, absolutely epic. We obviously are going to talk to P1 in a second, but yeah, that was some great bit of action right at the end there to see, and closing it out, we are going to see these guys finishing up, and that is pre-season race number 4 done at Silverstone. And well, if you have enjoyed that, we've got one more race to go, and that will be the final one. I will be in for the end of tomorrow's race to have a quick chat with everyone, just to say what the go is next. I've probably already said it, but we'll do it again one more time. But there we go. There's your celebrations. Race winner and fastest lap driver of the day, most overtakes, and cleanest driver. They will not count at the moment. They only count in the league when we get underway on the 4th of July. But there you go. Very, very clean house there for Jono and Connor OCE. But there are your classification results. Jono taking out the win. What a result from him. 29.18 to get the fastest lap. 29.3. So only 2 attempts between him and John R. So John R has seriously got some pace. Webber taking that 3rd spot as well, which could have gone to probably any of those guys from basically P2 down to P8. Then you got Sleepy in P4. Toast in P5, Mitchell in P6, Connor OC in P7, Cooper Trooper, Jennifer, Shining Swarm, Cookie, Gangster, Daniel Rocks, WizFam, and Slipper. Lachlan Wiggles goes all the way down into P16, so had a bit of a spin, but that will definitely not hurt his performance. And then we've got a few DNFs, which was a little bit unfortunate, and we saw the McLaren do a 360 spin in midair. So that will be one to clip for the old TikTok. But on that note, Cass, I'll let you pass it over to our winner, which we only interview P1, Jono.
Yeah, we'll have a chat with Jono here as we saw the McLaren doing some somersaults, but Jono was doing somersaults on the top step of the podium. Jono, well done tonight, mate. Fantastic drive. Anything that you were maybe nervous about going into tonight at all, or did you think it was just business as usual, mate?
Really, it was just kind of battery management. I haven't even touched this track yet on this DLC. So that's why I did like quite a few quali laps in that session just to get used to the battery. But yeah, that was basically it, really.
No, fantastic performance nonetheless. So maybe with a bit more practice, you probably would have dominated the field by 20, 30 seconds and done a Lewis Hamilton-esque performance at his home Grand Prix. So that's something we'll note down when we're doing the evaluations. John, don't you worry. I think we know what division you'll be in, but that's all right.
Div 2, trust.
Okay, who's going to tell him? Anyway, no, fantastic race tonight. Did you think there was any drivers tonight that you saw that maybe you raced against, maybe saw in quality that potentially could, maybe you're impressed by, could maybe push you for in the season that you think you're keeping your eye out for? Any drivers you think that you want to shout out tonight?
I don't really know if M John basically is someone. I'm not too sure if it's track specific though. But he was quite fast, I will say. I don't really know, to be honest, because I haven't. Yeah, I've raced people, but I haven't really raced anyone my pace yet in terms of that battery management, especially. Um, so I'm not too sure, to be honest, but definitely M John. Uh, he's very good in qualifying, so it was kind of a risk there, I guess, for pole position.
Yeah, I think M. Jonna has showed to be a very, very fast driver, especially at the end of last season as well in Div 1, and I think he'll be someone that could potentially be getting some unexpected places potentially in the division that he races in. So we'll see how he goes. But thanks for your time tonight, mate. Well done with the win, and I'll hand it over to SJ to get any questions further for you, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Oh, Jono, it's so good to see you back on track, mate. Obviously, last season, so unfortunate. We won't go over it too much now because it's all forgotten. But how do you feel? How do you feel going in? Obviously, you've done your pre-season, you've done a lot of trial races.
Mm-hmm.
We've actually seen you on the grid a lot compared to some other names, which we haven't, which has been a bit unfortunate. You're saying, obviously, John R, but I've seen quite a few drivers that are really going to be pushing the title opportunity this season. Not just John, but a few others. But how are you feeling going into the first round at Abu Dhabi?
I feel quite comfortable because I can't. So at the moment, which I really need to practice, is getting the most out of my battery in a qualifying lap. That's the one where I'm really struggling at the moment. But race, for some reason I'm fine with. So really, it's just qualifying I need to focus on, and then I should be good for the season.
Yeah, you said this a lot. You said this last season, the season before that. It's qualifying. Is it still? You're obviously saying it's the same issue. Is it because of the way qualifying's done now? It's not about going fast. It's actually about lifting and coasting. That you're actually quicker if you lift and coast in qualifying than just actually go as fast as you can, which is a very strange concept. Which qualifying is all about doing the quicker time than anyone else.
Yep. Yeah, it's especially the battery this year, like with the lifting and coasting qualifying. I think I've lost a little bit of pace because of that, but around some circuits I've gained some pace because of it also. So it's a bit of it's like trotting on a fine line for me at the moment with quali.
Yeah, wow. One more draft Sunday night. You've been in this position before. How many DMs have you received, Jono?
Quite a few. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna give anything away either. So prepare yourself.
We've tried this before. How do you feel about obviously the first three picks that Obviously Williams picked 1, Audi picked 2, and then obviously your XTP Lamb picked 3.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. I will say one of those people have me. I will give.
We know which one it is, mate. We know which one it is.
Do you know?
Yes,
Are you sure that could be a surprise? Yeah. You never know. I could go for someone else.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, mate. Like, I'll be honest. I don't honestly think that's going to happen. I'd love you in my team, but I'm pick 6, so that ain't happening. And you're definitely going to be gone before then. But no, Abu Dhabi is the first round. Starts in a week's time. Obviously, we've got the reserve program and we've got F2 coming up as well. Will we be seeing you in both of those or any of those this season?
The F2, hopefully, I should be in.
Oh. Spicy,
yeah,
John.
I love F2, so it's going to be interesting.
Awesome. And then thoughts of Abu Dhabi as the first round?
Yeah, I haven't done it on this DLC, so we'll see how it goes. I guess. Don't really know, what times are safe in quality or anything like that, or what the battery management is. So it's going to be a surprise on the day. I reckon.
Nice. Any soundtracks coming out, Jono?
I have been working on a couple. I have.
Is that regarding you, the team, or the league?
No, I don't know, man. It's gonna. I got a few that are ready to release soon. That's all.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Spotify, check Jono out. He's going to sell millions. No, fantastic.
So,
They are great. They are a great listen, and we'll definitely. I'll tell you what we'll do. If you get it out, we'll try and post it up on the old video clip. Give you a little bit
nice.
of give you a bit of screen time, and see what everyone can think of your work, because no, they are really good. The one that you did last time was fantastic. I was actually quite catchy. So yeah, no, we'll do that. We'll post it out there, or we'll post it at the beginning of the podcast or something. We'll or TikTok. We'll do something. All right. Definitely.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Well, Jono, we probably won't see you for the last one. I wish you all the best in the draft. I'm sure you're not going to need it. I'm sure you'll get picked up very, very quickly, and everyone will be very angry. But it is what it is. They know what you're capable of. We've seen it. You've won a title. I think I definitely can see in your driving and the way you are that you're definitely coming back for some revenge. You missed the whole season.
Yeah.
To then come back,
especially when I had that 6 race
yes,
wins in a row.
6 in a row. Yes, I know. And Fat Cat lost it by a 3-second time penalty.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I know. That's a killer. Anyway,
he
all
always
the best.
Gets those 3 seconds.
Oh yeah. Well, that will be one. You just have to try and snap his arm or persuade him, because he just won't make a decision at the moment, and we know everyone wants to see him on the grid. So tell him to get off his high horse, not worry about the game, have some fun, enjoy it. You can't win them all, even if he's not the quickest. And he says he's not quick, but we know he's absolutely lying, so it's absolutely rubbish. And if you're listening, Fat Cat, you're talking rubbish, mate. We know how fast you are.
He is quick. He is.
Jono, all the best in the draft, mate, and all the best for season 11. I look forward to seeing you for the season opener and on the grid for F2.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
No
Have a good one.
Cheers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for tuning in as always. Just a big shout out to Mooney Brother, Prabuka, OZ_in_DO, and Puntamanj and Dan Small for the follows. They did follow in the last couple of days, so thank you very much for the support. Love the support from everyone. Feel free if you want to jump on board and get involved. One more race to go. If you join the Discord now, you may have an opportunity to drive to tomorrow. We will be tagging everyone that hasn't raced still, that has the opportunity, but I'm sure that it'll just be reserves jumping in again. It's been a fantastic night. Cows, thank you very much for jumping in the comms box. As always, it's been an absolute pleasure, and thank you very much for hosting and half hosting and then hosting again.
No worries, mate. I'll be here. No stress.
No worries. And to you, as always, the audience, thank you very much for tuning in. Tomorrow night, you'll be joined by someone completely different in the comms box, which is going to be very, very exciting. You may have seen him last season. He was the Division 4 winner in Quick Silver Deck. He will be taking away in comms tomorrow night for the final one with Noah Hooney. So tune in for that. And as always, once again, thank you very much for tuning in. And on the screen, as you can see there, that's the OCE done and dusted for race number 4. Then you've got the draft night. F2 calendar will be released. We'll be making an announcement as well after this stream has finished to talk about the F2. We'll be getting a channel up and ready, and we'll be getting all of you guys involved in the F2 role, so you can get ready to go. Thank you very much, as always, and we will see you tomorrow night for race number 5, the finale of pre-season. Good night.